Hey, hello everybody, and welcome back to Court of Blades, where we, the Nene Valley Blades, or the Nene Valley Role Playing Association, however you want to call them, are playing Court of Blades. This is the book you'll see here the by Sean and Navi Drake. I should have had their names completely memorized, and it is a riff off of Blades in the Dark that is actually pretty fun to play. So tonight we've finished up a social season. This is the sort of culminating dance at the end of the summer, the big ball that is put on by House Ilanda. So the city itself, you wouldn't want to be anywhere else. This is the height of civilization in this society. This is Victorian, not Victorian, this Renaissance level city that sits on its canals by the bay, that is the most wealthy, the center of the arts, the center of everything. And there, these houses are competing for who is on top. And our house has just recently also planted the House Almari to be uh, to take over some of the stuff that they were in charge of, which was like the canals, and have moved up in the world. So we'll see how that plays out tonight during this. All right, let me bring across our players. And we can only see the bottom half of Felix's head from the nose down. I don't. That's awesome.
Yeah, I have explained why.
Yes,
Yeah,
it does look.
it's
Yeah,
because I keep staring into his eyes, and he's getting uncomfortable with it now,
makes him
Anthony.
completely uncomfortable. There he is. Yes.
These new varifocals and altering the height of my monitor.
So all sorts of craziness.
And nothing else, other than Rob. You know, sometimes it's a bit difficult looking at Rob.
I hear you. All right. Well,
Charming,
Lorenzo.
charming. Nothing but love at this end. Nothing but love.
So what I'd like to do to start this out is we'll come back to sort of introducing your characters. We'll do it as things are moving. So the camera pans down across the city. It's night. It's the very end of summer. There's the light smell of jasmine on the air and the wealthier parts of town. Maybe down in the Grown, there's more smells of garbage and things like that, but not in the wealthy parts of town, which is most of the city. Uh, there are only one or two gondolas out at this hour of night. Most of them are tied up, the gondoliers long gone to bed. A couple of watchmen patrol through the Gilt, talking to each other quietly. And then we cruise down this long canal and look in the window of a multi-story sort of apartment building that's down just between the Gilt and Rose District. And we look in this window and we see lying quietly in bed asleep Pietro. What does Pietro wear to bed? That's a scary thought.
Monogrammed silk pajamas.
I knew it. And he is sleeping. However, what the camera picks out is there is a stealthy figure moving across his room. And this character, wearing all black, you can see where even the leather harness has been sort of roughened up not to catch the light very well. The one thing that does catch the light is the blade held in the hand as it advances across towards the bed where Pietro is.
Thought this wasn't Blades in the Dark.
Exactly. Just this blade.
What kind of harness is he wearing?
Well, it's not, it's not one of Pietro's games. But so anyway, this dark figure bends down over where Pietro is sleeping soundly. And Pietro, you're awoken with a mouth over your hand and the feel of cold steel at your neck.
With a mouth over my hand.
Excuse me, a hand over your mouth. It could have been. It could have been worse.
Strike one.
It could have been worse. So,
As long as it was a mouth
Yeah.
over my hand.
yeah, not a mouth over your mouth. Exactly. And so, what do
Okay.
you do?
Well, they've got a blade to my throat, so open my eyes and
You s-
try and shake off the sleep.
So, first of all, you do see two eyes.
Burst
Go
of
ahead.
adrenaline.
Burst
Okay,
of adrenaline.
Two eyes is good, as we know we have a one-eyed
Ah.
fellow out there.
You can see that the face is covered with a veil, and the eyes have been, the skin around the eyes has been darkened with some sort of, polish or like shoe polish or something dark or black. And but the eyes themselves are brown, the irises, and you hear a whisper. Where is the collar? It's a male voice, as far as you can tell. But the strength of the hand and everything else, pushing your head back down into the pillow, could just be that they're leaning on you. Do you know where it is? Blink twice.
I will blink twice.
He says, "Don't make any noise." And the hand comes up off your mouth.
Okay.
I don't know if do you know where the collar is?
Well, I don't think we'd actually discussed it.
No.
Could I have a flashback?
Absolutely. Let's hear about where you guys put it.
Well, no, the flashback.
Oh.
The flashback is where Pietro, being a careful sort in foreign climes, is worried about his personal safety.
Yes.
And so we see him slip a loaded pistol under his pillow.
I think that is that's not a stress type thing. That is something that we could easily see that Pietro has done. Is Pietro sleeps with a loaded pistol under his pillow.
So okay, so he blinked twice.
Okay, the hand comes up, the knife stays there. The person sort of stands back up off of you, keeping their arms extended a little bit out. You can see that the character is fairly slight, but a slight wiry type frame.
Okay, so Pietro raises his hands slowly, and then puts them down outside the covers of the bed. So he pushes himself back and up, so he's resting back onto the headboard of the bed.
He goes, "Easy, easy, easy," this person says, as they keep the knife up against you. And they glance ever so briefly over their shoulder to see if anyone's been disturbed.
Okay.
We all know about Pietro's lightning fast reflexes.
Yeah. Actually, no. I'm thinking about something even cleverer.
Oh.
Not only do we see that he's got a pistol under the bed, this I'm sure will cost me some stress. He's been tinkering with a device that straps to his forearm.
Oh.
It's basically a strap to his forearm. It's got springs and also
very good
springs and a small Derringer style pistol.
Ooh, that pops down.
That he can basically flex his forearm and pop down into his hand.
Very, very good. So I'm happy with that. I think we're still sort of in, flint, black powder type of, we're not too far advanced in the pistol stuff, but I still think that's doable, especially with your skills. and you've tinkered this baby up. So, tell you what we'll do is at, to make it happen right now. We'll just make that your roll on your tinker just to see how well that happened.
Okay.
But let me get this straight. Pietro's got a strap on and he's going to try and shoot his load.
Well, he's got a mouth over his hand. What do you do?
Yeah. Okay, so tinker roll. Position.
Position here is going to be risky, and it'll be standard.
Okay. Here we go.
Ooh, we have a 6. Very good. So it pops right down into your hand, and you can do with it as you wish. And it does that while the guy's does his or her does her quick jerk of the head just to see if they see anything behind them.
Okay. Well, not taking any chances, Pietro's going to basically just bring his hand round and put it up against the chest and pull the trigger.
Pow, okay. I'd say this is all part of this particular dice roll because that's what we're measuring here is the entire thing. So all of you wake to the sound of a bang. It sounds like someone may have dropped a shutter, or maybe that monkey knocked a pan off in the kitchen. Whatever it is, it's loud. Your monkey shrieks next to you, Lorenzo. And that's the next thing you all hear, is that monkey shriek. So
I go back to sleep thinking Lorenzo's trying to do wicked things to the monkey.
oh god.
And that's what the commotion was.
And over you go. Okay, you roll over. Pietro, he staggers backwards, looking down.
Yeah.
Still has the knife in one hand, takes a step towards you,
No.
and then the knees go. Go ahead.
No.
Yep, no. I see you reaching for the other pistol.
Pietro's with his other hand is reaching under the to bring up the other pistol.
Very good. Thankfully, you don't have to use it before he has gone down to both knees. The knife drops out of his hands. He's pawing at his chest and then forward onto his face into the floor.
Right. Pietro looks at the pistol in his hand, sighs that his life has descended to this kind of brute violence.
Get it?
And then he gets up and makes sure that the assailant is actually dead.
Yeah, it appears so.
Yeah. And he puts on his robe because,
As you do.
Slips his feet into a nice pair of Persian-style slippers.
Very nice.
And then heads to the door.
Has anyone else gotten up to check on the sound, or is everybody else satisfied that it's Lorenzo and his monkey?
No, I'm going to be up and picking up a
if anyone
weapon and
if anyone recognises a shot, it will be you.
making my way out into the corridor.
Yes.
Do I know where the sound came from? Do I?
You're sure that it's internal to your apartments. We haven't sort of dug at how everything's set up. We could say that your door is opposite Pietro's, across the seating area and the kitchen. And so you sort of think that it is probably across from you. It could be Pietro's door or next to him where there's Lorenzo.
Okay. In which case, I'm going to make my way quickly across.
As you do so, why don't you describe your character for the benefit of those that have not met Sasha before?
Okay. So Sasha is Sasha is a hawk. She is a very dangerous bounty hunter, very menacing, quiet and flappable in these sorts of situations. She's very happy to face into danger. She's got a lovely silky long black hair pulled back from her face, blue eyes, piercing blue eyes, yeah, she's pretty stealthy, pretty sleek,
Absolutely.
mercenary.
How does this time of night catch Sasha? Is her hair up, like you mentioned, or is it down? Is she in silk pajamas?
She's definitely not in silk pajamas. Her hair's pulled back.
It is.
With sort of ponytail behind.
Do you
her.
sleep that way?
Yeah.
Okay.
She does. I do as well. So yeah, that's
Works well.
yeah, it does.
So does Rob.
Stops it sticking into places you don't want it.
Yeah.
Much easier. So yes, her hair's pulled back neatly into a ponytail behind her head. She's in, as is her wont, pretty dark clothing. So no bright fluorescent orange or yellow, silk pajamas for her, I'm afraid.
You said they were bright orange. I didn't say that.
That's just imagination. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, so you make it across the seating area, the lounge, and you're at the doors on the other side. You can hear. What could she
So she's
hear at the
gonna-
door? Do you think, Pietro?
I'm listening at the door. If I hear nothing, I'll do a very quiet sort of knock, double knock.
Okay.
My footsteps heading towards the door.
Okay, you can hear the shuffle coming towards the door when you listen, Sasha.
Okay.
Pietro opens the door. He's standing there with a pistol in one hand, raised to his shoulder. Wisps of black powder smoke escape past him into the common room.
She'll look him up and down.
He does not appear hurt.
You've had adventures.
Pietro steps back, sweeps his other hand out to the side to show the body lying on the floor.
Always the dramatic.
Pietro had a midnight visitor, and not the welcome kind.
I'm going to scoot past him and over to the body, flip it over onto its back. Can I see? Yeah.
So the rest of you can hear some talking now, or just a little bit. I don't know if you guys are keeping your voices down as you were.
Don't really know.
Okay.
Is the window open, by the way?
Yes, your window is open. Now that's not an uncommon thing. It is it's always a bit warm in Ilrian compared to many places. But end of summer, it can get cool in the evenings, which is really sort of nice. And I think you probably, unless you have chosen to keep your windows shut normally, it would have been cracked open at least for some airflow.
Okay. Pietro's going to go over to the window and trying to stay out of sight. He'll sort of look out the window to see is there any hanging ropes or that kind of thing outside.
There is a.
God damn it, man! You only shot someone. You don't have to end your own life.
No, I'm gonna. It's
God,
terrible.
that's a bit dramatic, Pete. Come on.
Boy, this
Think of the
game.
flowers.
Exactly. Yes, there's a black thin rope hanging down from looks like your ceiling, the rooftop, and you know that it's a flat rooftop. That sometimes you guys will take a dinner up there, things like that. It is possible to. There's a building behind it that you could probably jump across if you really wanted to. Otherwise, on either side, there's enough of a space for little alleys that it would make it really difficult just to make a big jump. But probably came down from the roof.
Okay.
Not up.
Okay. Pietro's going to head out into the common room and he'll clap his hands twice. All right, everyone. We need to have a discussion. Come on.
Very good.
I send Grandad.
Nice. So your grandfather's
I'll
ghost.
get up. I'll get up.
Okay. So doors open, people come out. This is a time where we can say, Lorenzo, can you describe yourself at this point of the day, night, 4-ish, 4:30 a.m.?
I was woken up to a bang.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got
And the
straight
monkey
up,
screaming.
and a monkey screaming next to my head.
Yes.
So I've just got up and gone out of my room.
Got it. So you catch the as Pietro is coming out and just before he's clapped, you're out there. Monty, can we describe your character coming out?
Monty was a taller individual with a big beard. It's not very well kept after being asleep. But he was woken by the bang and went to listen by the door just to the inside of the door just to see if he could hear anything, and did hear some shuffling, and then Pietro say what was going on. So yes, he comes out in his simple shirt and trousers type of fare, but just basic night attire. He's
Very good.
Trying to get the beard under control.
Very good. Mocklin, what about you coming out?
So I come out. I literally just sort of like open the door. I'm like hopping on the spot whilst I'm trying to put some pants on over my pantaloons. And yeah, and then I walk on in. But apart from that, nothing. No socks, no shoes. Just keeping modesty so that Sasha doesn't see my small
Yes.
6-pack.
Very good. And is there any distinguishing features for Mocklin?
Yeah, well, apart from the electric burn scars, there's lots and lots of cuts across the chest, on the sides, on the upper arms, and what you can only surmise is bullet holes as well. I mean, this guy's chest is literally. There's not much. It's literally just, remnants of fights gone wrong, and how he survived is honestly. But yeah, I mean, but there again, the smallest of cuts can often leave the nastiest of scars. So, maybe some of them aren't as deep and as bad as they look. Apart from the lightning ones, those are still fresh.
Maybe he's just very careless in libraries, gets a lot of paper cuts.
Yes.
Yeah. Or it could just be the fact that he's so gauche that people just want to stab him and shoot him. I don't know.
More likely, yeah. Otherwise,
That
Felix,
is.
we're enjoying our monkey nuts here. Very tasty.
Excellent.
Very good. That's about the size of his monkey too.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, everyone obviously sees Pietro standing there with his pistol.
Yes.
He says, "I was visited. Someone wants that collar back. Auckland, do you have it safe?"
Hang on one moment. And he scoots back into it, and you can hear the thing being dragged out from under the bed. He goes, hang on. And then you can hear some shuffling and some moving and what have you, and then the wardrobe, you can hear the wardrobe close, and then he comes out, he goes, "Oi, it's safe now. I put it somewhere safe."
Well, Someone's obviously prepared to go to a great deal of trouble to get it. So they say that
I'm not surprised. I bet it cost them an eye.
Well, there's that too. So
What's
anyway,
the colour?
let's go and get the guard. I'll get the captain. So
What do I find at the body? Because obviously I've gone to the body and I'm looking at it. I flipped it over onto its back.
Very good. So you were looking in there's not an exit wound. It looks like that the low caliber small weapon that Pietro had did enough to put the slug into the body where it may have bounced off a rib or something, but there's not an exit wound, so he's not bleeding out on the back, but out of his front there's a decent pool. He's wearing a black silk shirt, which is fairly expensive to begin with, and the shirt is held down with a black leather belt. On that belt, there are a couple of sheaths for small knives. They're balanced well for throwing, and you can see that there's not like a coin purse or there's nothing like that. There is a sort of metal double buckle that was probably used to attach to that rope that's outside for climbing. Not really a climbing harness, but something that he could have slipped the rope through, done a quick little tug, and then rappelled down without too much worry. The instead of a pantaloon or something like that, it's just tight silk black hose, and there's silk black shoes with no buckle or anything to catch the light. They're just laced down with some black leather.
Any pockets, any identifying symbols or marks on his clothing, on his body, on?
So no, except for on his left wrist, there's a small tattoo, and the tattoo looks like a small skull, like a candy skull sort of design with a stylized skull. It's about, I'd say, an inch total in height and just over half an inch in width across from cheekbone to cheekbone. The top of the skull is towards his palm, and the bottom just is running up his forearm.
I'm also just going to check he is dead.
Yes.
Pietro's quickly going to go over to the door.
Okay.
He'll open it, and there'll be a servant waiting outside.
Not too. Yes,
There
absolutely.
always is.
And
Almost.
I'm also going to ask, since I'm reasonably familiar with bounty hunters' circles, shall we say,
Yes.
do I recognise him?
Let's make a luck roll. I'd say on a 1 out of just roll 1d6, and if you get a 1, I'll tell you that you know him, and we'll come up with some backstory that could help. Not so much. So you're not familiar. The tattoo rings a bell.
Yeah.
But you can't place it yet.
Right, can I just ask, because I missed the session, what the collar is?
Ah,
Sounds fairly important, but I don't know anything about it.
very good. Mocklin?
Is it a shirt collar? Is it
No. So so a couple of weeks ago, we investigated the murders that were happening down in the canals, and we thought it was some ne'er-do-well taking on the little guys. Well, that's what I thought. But anyway, it actually transpired to be a crab man and basically he was asked to do things against his will, and they used a collar
To control him.
to control the crabman.
And that's what the thing that exploded his head, yeah?
No, that doesn't explain his head. I'll get to that bit in a very short moment. So what we found was, after the crabman had done whatever his masters had instructed him to do, he tried to find his masters and exact revenge. But he's only got the smell of them, and they smell just like Monty. So it's a race, not an individual that he's trying to. Well, he's trying to find an individual by slaughtering and murdering the whole race. And basically, I tried to free it, and I ended up overcooking the crab meat, and it went kaboom, all over the place. So I kind of freed it, but of course we're left with a collar which actually has a magical tether from it to someone. And yesterday we had it on the lounge table, and an eyeball popped up, which Pietro then, well, I poked it, and Pietro's basically beat the living crap out of it. And now we've got a man with one eye, or a person with one eye, walking around the city, but we don't know whom. I think I know whom, but we're dealing with dark magics. I mean, out of character, we're dealing with Voldemort type dark magics.
So can we reverse engineer the collar?
Yes. Well, I can try and do something to try and put my magics along the strand to see where it goes, but I'm not too sure quite if I know how to actually do that. So what I was thinking of doing was later taking it to Owen, who is my old teacher, and getting him to keep hold of it for safekeeping, and maybe do some magical testing, because he is more advanced in the magical arts than I am. And he's got a book of dark arts in his wardrobe, in his bookshelf, that I'm not allowed to look at. And I've told him to hide it from me, because I did actually have a peek, and I don't feel comfortable with that type of magic. So
if they're trying to get hold of it, they must know that we could do that. So we might as well do it.
Anyway,
you see, the thing is that there's not that many knacks in the city. So if so, yeah, I mean, you'll more than likely find that. Well, there's yes, but my name's not Nick; it's Mocklin. So every house will have a knack. Okay, now it just so happens that you guys have got me, plus we've got Bastian's own knack as well. So this house actually has two. So they might put two and two together, or they might just think that it's an absolute coincidence. Somebody defeated the monster and took what they thought was a sellable item, and then realised that it's not, because an eyeball appeared on it earlier on this morning, or yesterday morning. So it could just be coinciding. So Pietro's intruder. Yeah, I mean, the chances are is this eyeball has seen Pietro's face. It's more than likely seen mine. And because I like warm conditions, I don't sleep with the window open.
I can't remember. Was there the possibility of following this link?
Yeah.
Link.
Yeah, but I'm not too sure how Mocklin would actually do that. I've got to. I think I need to say to the GM, right, peer pressure. We're going to have to do this. Do we know how to do it? You know, what's involved? etc., etc. But yeah, so but that is one of the options that we got. So that's what the collar is. That's how we got hold of it, and that's why we've got it.
Very good. So with that, the guards arrive. They take your statement. It's not guards you recognize. Well, you may recognize them because you guys have been circulating through a lot of the guards. They're very deferential. They treat you guys well because you're
Sorry, I
family.
went to get the house guards, not the.
Oh, the house guards. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to get the captain of the house guard,
Very good.
and basically I'll explain to him what happens. Say, we want to keep our name out of it. So if you explain that, there was an intruder who got caught by, down by one of the guards. In actual fact, what I'll do is I'll send a message. I'll ask him to go and get our contact, Salvatore, with the watch.
Ah, Salvatore from the watch.
I want him to put his top man on it, who knows, who might people who might recognise this guy, the tattoo. But yeah,
Absolutely. And they will
Oh, he had a
put.
tattoo, did he?
Yep. So we will skip past that to understand that has been done. The body's been removed. The Romero, the captain of the house guard for you guys, has liaised with the guard the watch, the captain you specifically asked for.
I'm making a
Hesperides.
sketch of that skull tattoo.
Very good.
By the way.
And Hesperides, they say they'll put their best detective on it. Hesperides. If he finds something, he'll bring it to you.
Yep.
Sound good? And you guys remember working with Hesperides last time to find that crab creature.
Yep. Yes.
Okay.
Pietro will head to his workroom to devise a nasty trap for anyone who might come through our windows again.
Very good.
But what to do with the collar? I will leave that up to you, Marklin. That seems to be your area.
What do you think, Marklin?
You see, when I do things like that, that's when I get into a lot of trouble. I try hard not to actually think too much.
Well, I sort of heard that you tossed it somewhere you thought was safe.
Yeah, it's in the top of the wardrobe. It's
Obviously,
not really that safe, but nobody knows that.
This particular person who showed up obviously was not able to sense where it was or magically scry exactly where to go. They were relying on brute force to figure it out.
That's the point. So I say to Pietro, I don't know, my good man. I mean, he went to you, and unless he did that because he thinks that you are the spokesman, which truly you are, because you are the most handsomest of all of us and the most well dressed out of all of us, apart from maybe Lady Sasha. But I don't think he could sense it. I don't think he could locate it. I don't think much about it at all. He just thinks that he knows that it's here because maybe the eyeball told him and described you. And has anybody told you you are a very, very handsome man?
Certainly very distinctive.
Very distinctive.
Once or twice.
Yeah. So
wandering around the streets.
So yeah, so maybe they know of you by association, or it's your wanted poster from the murder, from the rightful dueling.
Gotcha.
Well, and I pat you on the back, and I went, you do know, Pietro, that's number 2 that you've used the bullet on. Don't get used to it. It's not a nice place to go to, and it's certainly not nice having to come back from.
Trust me, I'm very well aware of very well aware of that. And don't you forget, who was the second who arranged the first duel?
Out of character. I'm laughing.
Yeah. Them are all bastards. I mean, if you came and asked for me, I would have said, "Oh no, let's just have a friendly game of poker." But no, Lorenzo, Motlin, Sasha, oh, all of them had it in for you. They did. Stack them cards true and high.
Anyway,
and I start chuckling, and I turn around and I walk out, and I go and get the collar out of the wardrobe.
The camera pans back and goes out across the city. And when it fades back in, we are over breakfast, and you guys have one of the servants has cooked up some eggs and bacon and things like that, along with the fruit that you guys have so much in abundance here in the city. And at the table with you is Naldo Aradolo, your handler from the house. And he's sipping at some orange juice. He says, "Well, that's quite the story. Middle of the night through the window, huh?" Shakes his head. Says, "Well,
What is the world coming to?
yes. Well, as this all started out for you, of course you know that tonight you're invited not only because of your station in our house, but because I wish you there to help protect. But we once again are sending to the end of season ball. Um, we're going to send Loto and Vittoria from the house. So Loto and Vittoria will be there for you guys to make sure that you keep alive, and they're there to represent us. It's going to be a larger affair than that on the boat. House Alanda has a very large dance hall, and I think they've invited many people that would not normally be there that are not part of the Esatari. We'll see. So that's your first chore. Make sure to take care of them. But for this particular season upcoming, the autumn social season, we have, of course, three main things we would like to see accomplished that we are turning our agents to accomplishing. One is to instigate strife between House Almari and Bjorn. We feel that both of those houses below us may be working together or may form an alliance to try and pull us back down. Number two, we have been approached by the Death Watch, and they have asked for help with. Yes, the Death Watch.
Hang on. I'm just
making notes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They have asked for some help because there have been repeated intruders out onto Necropolitan Hill, where they are supposed to be taking care of the facility. And lastly, and this one comes more personal to the house, the Signora of Roses, she who is the master of most of those courtesans in our fair city, has obtained through hook or by crook one of the high nobles' masks and may well auction it off, thus revealing that a personage was frequenting one of her facilities. We would like that mask.
Okay, so those are the three things, those three tasks for the new season.
Yes.
Who's given us these tasks?
This is Naldo, the same
Naldo.
guy who gave you the.
He's
Blade Master.
A local, isn't he? He's a local to the city, born and bred.
Yes, yeah? Absolutely.
Right. I go, Naldo. Who is that? Can you say that name or where the ball's being done again? and then
Yolanda.
say Almira,
Almare. Almare.
and the other one.
House Bjorn.
Yolanda.
Thought it was House
I
Bjorn.
look at Pietro and I go, I got it wrong.
Yolanda
Owen didn't
is
say.
where the
Owen didn't say
ball is.
Almari. He said Elandra.
Oh, okay.
I
So
got it wrong, Pietro.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I forgot about that, Rob. Very good.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
Oh dear, we're going into the Viper's nest.
So as we go into the ball, we will treat it very much like we are going into a heist in Blades in the Dark or errand. And so I'll pull you across to the errand page, except I'll have to grab here. And if you guys can ignore the clocks that are ongoing because those are left over from the last time you played. Oh, this is not where I want it to be. I apologize. Good grief. I want to be there. So this is the engagement role. So very likely this is a social, or depending if you're trying to hide your identities, maybe it's a stealth, or maybe there's some sort of, I don't know, you tell me what you guys think this this errand is.
I would vote for social.
Very good. Is this errand bold and daring? Is it complex? I don't think it's complex. I know we've typically given you guys the dice for bold and daring just because you tend to be.
So all we're doing is protecting.
Right now, you're protecting and representing. Yes.
Probably not bold and daring.
I'd say probably not. Does this leverage any of your house strengths? I don't think so, does it? What are your house main strengths? Let's see.
So where is the
Transport and access.
Yeah, transport and access.
Oh no, unorthodox is the strength. Okay, reputation's unorthodox. Yeah, transport and access is the strength.
I mean, I suppose, yeah. I mean, we have our house's strengths. Well, we got three really, haven't we? We've got the common touch. We've got the watch.
So I think
people maybe providing security.
I think transport and access are the two that are called out specifically at this time. I don't know if transport applies. You guys tell me.
I mean, I would have thought that the sort of people who will be going to this affair will have their own transport.
Yeah.
So probably not.
Probably not. Access, I don't know. I mean, you have access to be here, so it's not like you're trying to break in or anything like that. Can friends or contacts provide any insight? Or rivals? So what we're going to wind up doing, let's see. So we're not going to put anything on paramours, though there will be some other things. So I think if we give you the one die for, you just get a die because you're lucky, another die because we're going to say that access for your house, there's 2. I think that you've been given some insight, 3. And then are your enemies and rivals interfering? We're going to say we're going to take a die from there, so you're down to 2. And does anyone see anything else that they'd like to argue before I say 2 dice is where we're at?
I'm thinking, should we spend our lady's favour? Bring it up to 3 dice.
Anyone?
Might we need that during the?
We might need it, but I don't like the idea of going in with a bad situation. that sets the whole situation wrong, doesn't it?
Hmm.
Thoughts,
Yeah, but
team?
that's where we make our mark, isn't it? Really. But
We are missing a few.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't got any dice from other places. Like we got transport from the boat last time.
Yeah, I mean, I feel much more comfortable with 3 die for the game.
Yeah.
Roll than
yeah,
2.
let's go for it. Let's
All
go
right.
for it.
Yeah.
Lorenzo?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Okay. Who wants to roll? We typically have Sasha roll these, right?
Yeah, because I'm the crappy roller.
Although I think Mocklin was our top roller.
Yeah, he was high
Yeah.
roller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is
Yeah,
a
but
high
you've beaten
roller.
me already this week. You
Yeah.
got 6, Pete. So
Who's feeling it? Let's roll them bones.
Are we just rolling dice? Are we rolling a skill?
No,
Rolling
just
dice.
rolling D6.
D6.
And so you
tell you
don't
what, how
have
about we all roll 3d6 and then we
take
take
the
highest.
best.
That's right.
Okay, Monty, your turn.
Right. What's my window gone? 3d6. 463.
Look at that.
There you go.
You guys start out in a controlled position.
And if
Well
that'd been
done.
1, 1, and a 2.
What did you roll?
Hang on. We need that re-roll because that's exactly the same as Pietro got.
It
for
is
Tinker.
a different order.
Different order.
I'm going to just.
6.
Here's what I would have rolled. There we go.
Oh,
Oh, look at that.
it's what I would do.
Very thankful I didn't roll.
Ah, that would have been pretty awesome.
Okay. As
Too
we're
bad
doing
on that.
hang on a second then.
Okay.
That situation, we're like, where is this house? We can't find it.
Yeah.
See, Mocklin did all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, not too bad.
You don't want to know what I would have rolled.
Very good. A control position. So we're going to go across and do that. So let's bring this down here for the.
Yeah. So prior to the ball,
Yes.
Pietro is going to go to is going to be asking round at various social events that he's at to find out what people will be wearing, what's the fashion.
Very good.
And then he's going to work closely with his favourite tailor.
Ah, very nice.
Come up with a very fashionable and outstanding outfit.
Very nice. So you have heard that there seems to be a theme of very flower-oriented, into summer type flowers that people are wearing. There's quite a few that are wearing some different sort of rose colors, or so you'll have to think about that if you want to sort of pick a dominant color that you want to go with. But you can tell that your favorite tailor, Barbolini, is a little despondent that he's not gotten more orders. He doesn't say it to you, but he's very, very grateful for you purchasing that. And
I'll discreetly let him know that I will be the outfit that I'm wearing will be I'll be mentioning where I got it from.
does
and
anyone
him
Does anyone
to-
else? Go ahead. I'm sorry. I keep cutting people off because there's a slight lag, and I cut you off. Keep going.
And well, the other thing is maybe maybe the other members of our group might want to have some finer clothes made for them.
I do.
Very good.
I do. And as Pietro's about finished with Barbolini, I will come strolling on in.
Awesome. Are you sort of wander in and say, "Hey, I need my inseam measured"? Is that as you usually?
No. I say, hey, Pietro, you said that this man was the finest craftsman, so I thought I'd come and I would like something made
Brilliant.
for the ball. And I explain what it is.
Let's
Okay?
hear.
It's an eye patch.
Oh,
I want an eye patch made, and I want an emblem stitched into the center of it. And around that, I want an eyeball kind of shape to the exact colors of the eyeball that appeared
oh, very interesting.
on the table. And the emblem that I want in the where the iris would be. Okay, so basically the whole eye patch, I want it to look like an eye.
Hmm.
And then in the very center, I want the tattoo
Oh, the
of
death's head.
the seven veils,
Okay,
and I want to have that inside the eye.
wow,
Yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna be that guy.
very
I'm
good.
gonna poke the eyeball again.
So, Mr.
And also, I need it to, and I need it to, and I'm sorry, Master Taylor, but I need it to go with this, and then basically, I literally just shimmer, and then I'm in full, my regal knack robes.
Very good.
Okay, so I need it to also complement on the edges my family crest and the strapping to go with the prince's crest.
Very good.
Can you do that for me?
He bows and says, "Your wish is my command, sir."
Okay, and then I have a what do we use for coinage? I mean, do we just use coins or do we have notes
No,
or?
no, it's all built to the house.
Yes,
We
it's
don't
all
pay.
built. You don't even have
pay
to
for
worry about it, Lachlan.
Okay, so a small little thing like that. I don't know. What is it? 200 chits or something? I put on there and I go. This is and would that cover it?
The bill will go to the house, sir. Yeah, yes.
Yeah, no, but I'm asking, would that amount cover it?
Oh, yes, and then some.
Right.
And he's
In
pleased.
that case, double it.
He bows again. Thank you, my lord.
Excuse me, I'm no lord. I'm a prince, but I'm no lord.
Your Majesty.
That sounds really weird. I like it. I might have that monikered on my chest bone. Right. Let Pietro know when my stuff's ready with his, and then I'll come and pick up both and drag his through the dirt. I mean, I'll take his very carefully back to the to his, if that be okay.
Very good.
You're a good man. You're a good man. Thank you very much. And then I just tootle off. And I shimmer back into my street clothes.
And
When
off you go.
Mothman's finished,
Ah,
I'm going to step in. The
oh,
tailor's
cool. Very cool.
okay.
Oh,
And,
ma'am.
I have heard you are a very, very fine tailor from my friend. And I have some particular needs for my outfit this
Oh,
fall. I want to have leggings underneath the skirt, and I want the skirt to be detachable should I need it to be. So that I can,
very practical.
yes, I need to be able to lose the weight of a skirt at a moment's notice if I should need to. And I shall also need somewhere that I can securely and discreetly keep some weapons. Maybe a gun, a knife or two.
Very good.
So,
I'd say with this effort, you can go from a light load to sort of a middle of the road, 4 or 5, based on the extra effort you're putting into this. That's fine by me.
I'd like to make an order as well.
Ooh, okay. So you come in as
Be a
well.
monkey.
Well, I'd like to make some modifications to my top hat. So I'd like to have a little room at the top of it for my monkey. So with a little door or a shutter that blends into the hat, that the monkey can open and close, and also I've got control over opening it suddenly if I want to.
I would expect nothing
And
less
then,
from you,
yeah,
Pete.
little bed in there for the monkey,
Very good.
supply of nuts, and a couple of hooks to hang up the blades.
Very good. He's a little taken aback, but he says, it is possible.
Yeah, and if there's any seams that are visible, then just cover it with some feathers or some other silly shit.
I was asked if you came in. If not, I was going to ask Pietro. Sorry, my lord, for dimensions of your monkey.
Well, it's quite large for a finger monkey, but it would just about lie down in the top of my top hat.
Ah, very good. My daughter would like to make something for your monkey, if that is a means of amends.
What are you talking about?
A waistcoat.
Waistcoat would be good as long as it's not orange.
Very good. What color would you like?
Something psychedelic.
I apologize for not understanding the term.
Something with multiple colours that swirl into each other and entertain.
Very well.
Draw
Perhaps
draw attention.
perhaps a small hat.
No need for hats. Just a waistcoat or that can be turned into one side is very colourful. The other side is just a dark colour.
Very well.
Yeah.
So, all of you wearing your new accoutrement. Actually, Monty, did you want something as well? I didn't get a chance to.
Monty's gone with them, but he's just kind of looking slightly uncomfortable with the whole thing. It's like I don't wear fancy clothes.
But you're about to go where you must. How are you going to do that?
What about some leather strappings for your beard? You could then groom your beard up and bow it.
No.
That would be quite good. What do you mean, no?
Just a simple black waistcoat, I think.
Very well.
If I need to be smart, I'll do that. But,
very good. So you've gone with a very traditional, smart attire. Maybe everyone's in colors. That's fine. So let us take your newly purchased gear that has come to you, delivered several days before, of course, and then there were last-minute tailorings as you would expect, so that everything is absolutely perfect and you're turned out well. If you guys can, on your character sheets, click what load type you're carrying. I would say for yours, Christine, for Sasha's, you can take a light load and you can keep adding a couple of things past your light load. So you'll, instead of, because this game sort of has a light load and then a fairly heavier load, it doesn't have sort of in between one.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Just in between is where you're at. So you can have, what is it, 4, something like that, 5. So we'll work it that way, just to be kind for the extra effort you put in here. So House Yolanda is in the district near the courts. It is a massive residence that has several wings off of it, multiple floors. And one of those has 2 floors at the top that are converted into a single high arched ballroom. This ballroom runs the length of this wing and is therefore close to 100 yards from end to end. It's massive. There are tables around the edge with many fine foods to eat. There's a very large group of the Esultari, more of them together at once than you've seen in your short time of being in this house of the Esultari. But there are also many others that are not just from the Esultari. There are some from the houses minor. You actually can see. Let's see who else you see here. You can see Luther, you've heard of from the Bank of Brass and Bones. And you can see Devi, who is one of the folks from the Fortunato Trade Federation. Yeah, and you do see some old friends out and about. Definitely, Monty, you see Alric. And strangely, Alric has Andrea with him on her arm. The cadets from the military school are in attendance in their finest uniforms. So we know that the cadet Jorah is there. You, Lorenzo, you don't see your paramour. What is her name again?
Trying to remember. But just what is her name? I've written it down somewhere. Where's it written down?
I've got it. Don't worry. Give me 2 seconds. I do want to. Okay, go ahead.
She's House Bastion.
So let me bring that up so I can say it for you. And this is Lorenzo Isabella La Bella.
Isabella La Bella. Oh yes.
Yes. So she's not from a house, but she does tend to be here at these events.
I thought she was the daughter of one of the leaders of House Bastion.
Oh no, don't think so. She may have. She sometimes she tells you things that you're like, but whatever the case, you don't see her yet, but you know she'll probably be there, almost assuredly. As you look around the crowd, you can sort of get that prickling feeling in the back of your head where you just know she's coming. And then your monkey is with you, I assume.
Yep.
In the hat.
Yep.
There's the top hats are not really a big thing in the Renaissance period, but I will say that yours is spectacular.
I'm not dressed like everyone else. I'm still dressed like a performer.
A little bit okay. Very interesting. And let's see here. If there's anyone else to think about. You do see Moon de Lavelle, the eye master from House Lavelle, who you think was possibly part of the plot that got you in so much trouble last time. The plot with the pig in the dress. You do see Nicolo de Alanda. This particular house is one of their knacks who lost out in a strength test with Mocklin last time they played. And there's Bartolomeo Alanda comes out, raises his hand. There's a speech, and you guys are all having a drink. At that point is when Bernardo Almare, one of the seniors of House Almare, steps forward. Says, Lord, I crave your indulgence. And there's a little bit of a pause because this is unusual. The musicians come to a stop. He says, I feel it would be most honorable of my family to recommend to the Esaltari the striking of a medal of bravery. Everybody's, oh, huh. He says that not long ago, our trade routes were beset by pirates. And we owe so much to the fine corps of cadets you see around you, and in specific, their captain. Ah, yes, Jorah Coltwell, who did so well against these pirates. I recommend him for a Medal of Bravery. And he starts clapping, and along with him, there's it's slower to start out, but then the clapping picks up. And you can see the old Corvetto man from our very first dance who's sitting in the corner, and eyes turned towards him, and he just does a with his hand, and you know that a medal will be struck for the bravery of young Jorah against the pirates. Note that your efforts with the pirates were not noted in any way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
And then the conversation starts back up and the dancing. And you can see, Monty, that Andrea is still with her brother, but she continues to look around. She hasn't spotted you yet. But you find it interesting, Sasha, that now Alric has Jorah by the elbow and is brought him over to the bar area where he is plying him with drink in congratulations for his medal.
Mhm. I think I shall move in on that and perhaps try to prevent some of that drink.
Ah, very
Okay.
interesting. So you
Monty will follow.
sashay. Okay, the two of you follow. Very, very good. I want to play this out. This sounds wonderful. So there's a long bar against one far end of this open hall, and behind it are about 6 different tenders of the bar serving out drinks. About as fast as they can, they're loading up glasses of champagne, of sparkling wine of some sort or another, and canapes are coming out of a door out back behind, and trays are moving rapidly out into the room. But they
Is
are
there any
serving.
music going on or any
Oh
dancing?
yes, music and dancing is going on behind you. Absolutely.
Lovely. So I'm going to move over to Jura and
His eyes light up when he sees you,
I
and he
shall
go ahead.
say, my dear, it is lovely to see you here. I would love to take a trip on the dance floor. Do you have
He
time now?
he bows deeply and flushes and says, "Absolutely," and steps out with you.
Excellent.
Very good. Andrea looks at you hopefully, Monty.
Bows courteously to Andrea. Says, hello, good evening.
Alaric does not bow back.
Yeah. Not surprised. Would you like? And I ask if you'd like to dance, and it kind of, as he's not bowed, I'm just going to ignore that he exists for the moment.
She says, "I would love to," and she starts stepping towards you, and you can see that Alaric grabs the back of her arm just above the elbow and pinches fairly hard. She stops and goes, "Oh, is there a problem?" And his mouth, his lips firm up. He goes, "No, there's no problem." And he releases her arm. You can see, because there are shorter sleeves, unlike in the picture here, that he's left a mark.
Mm.
And so she moves out to hold your arm as you go onto the dance floor.
And
I knew we should have got
note.
that extra dice for unorthodox.
I give him a tilt of the head and say, "How kind of you," and then walk off with Andrea.
Very good. We will come back to you guys' dance. Mocklin, you see that Nicolo, who you bested slightly in that feat of magic, who very probably was behind the amplification of Pietro's compliments about the dress last time. He's sidling over towards you. Says, Mocklin, so good to see you in our house.
It is a very fine house.
I read the broadsheet. Is it true that you were spouting off magic in the in the twist. Were you trying to wake up the wake up the undead? What's going on? He chuckles. He's talking loud enough so that there's a couple of sort of cronies with him so that they can chuckle when he talks.
Well, I don't know anything about it. I've not even read the broadsheets. You know what they say about them
Oh.
broadsheets? News one day, paper for your fish and chips the next. Don't take stock by it.
Well,
The important thing, though, is the murders were stopped. So that was really good. But nobody really mentions that, do they? About the downtrodden folk of this fine city being picked off one at a time.
so you're
Yeah.
serving the people. That's why they're so happy with you.
No, I don't serve the people.
Are you one of them revolutionaries there, Mocklin?
No, I was trying to have a swim out by docks. Monty, my mate Monty, he tells me right that I need to learn how to swim ever since we went out on that pirate crusade and I ended up in water. Well, I thought I could swim.
You can tell that he's realized he's lost his audience a little
And
bit.
then, did you know that if you actually put some type of gas in the tractor, it'll actually go boom, boom, boom instead of blah, blah, blah. And then also the fish people, they're actual real. Did you not know that?
And so,
right, it was nice chatting to you again. You have fun, my darling. Right, I've got other people to go and yeah. Oh, that's a really good look. Keep hold of it. Tick, tick.
and so you leave him sort of frustrated in his attempt to try and embarrass you in front of his cronies and move away through the crowd. Lorenzo, across the room, you can see Isabella Labella. There are near the windows, there are some embrasures that have little couches that you can sit upon and gaze out the windows if you so choose. One of those is empty and she's sitting there by herself. She catches your eye and waves you over.
Okay, so I'll go and sit, approach her and sit down beside her.
Oh, it is so good to see you. It's been a while. Have you missed me?
Of course.
What's new?
I've got a pet.
Oh, I know. A monkey, right?
Yeah, that's right.
In the hat?
Certainly is.
What an amazing thing.
So
Go ahead.
So I'm gonna open the door with remotely, as it were.
Let's say that you have a monocle with this that's got a little line to it off the side, like would probably keep it from falling all the way to the floor, but that's attached to that door. So if you take your monocle off and pull it down, it opens the door.
But yeah, that'll do.
That sounds a lot like your character too. So okay.
That is so cool.
So okay.
So I'm gonna make a couple of hand gestures to the monkey.
Okay.
Yeah, to get the monkey to crawl out of the hat, and then crawl into her palm, and then present her with a present that's already waiting.
What is this present? So she rests her palm on your thigh to sort of hold the monkey sitting on her palm on your top of your thigh.
Okay, so it's going to be a little scent bottle.
Ooh.
That I
from your
purchase from the chap right at the beginning.
Wonderful. So you see it you see that she says thank you so much, and has the she looks at the scent bottle She smells it. The monkey opens it up for her to smell. It just sort of opens up. The monkey's smelling it, right? So the monkey's smelling it, and she sort of leans over too to smell this bottle that the monkey's opened. She goes, "Oh, that's delightful. What is it?"
It's the scent of eucalyptus mixed with jasmine.
That's very fancy. Your monkey appears to like it. You see your monkey's like slapping some on itself.
Yeah.
Says, she says, "Are you gonna fix it?"
What do you pertain to? You said this before.
Ah, so that's still not there yet. Huh. Oh, your monkey takes off, Felix. It jumps down. The bottle falls from the monkey to the floor. Starts spilling. She goes, "Oh!" And your monkey starts sprinting across the room in between the dancers. It's heading for a table where they have just unveiled a pièce de résistance carving of a ship out of multiple pineapples.
Right, I'll just let it get on with it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I love it. Very
I'm
good.
gonna sit back and say, let's enjoy this. Then tell me about the fixing thing.
Very, very good.
And stop being coy.
Mm,
Just tell me what you're talking about, because I have no idea.
really. She says
You
it's
can tell me whilst we watch this entertainment about to
oh
appear.
yeah. You can see the monkey is up. It's gotten to the table. There's a little bit of a stir as people are going, what? And the monkey's like moved down. Let me get I actually had a silly handout I was gonna make. Let's see here. Can you see that, guys?
Where?
No? On
Mm-hmm.
Roll20? Did it not go up there, show to players?
Nope.
Nothing
That
I
would
can
be
see.
that would be so easy if it did that. That's so frustrating. Um, it's supposed to work that way. Anyway, it's a picture of a monkey with a knife cutting some fruit, wearing a little hat, sitting on the table. That's why I tried to sell Felix on the hat. Um, so what I'll do is because that should, as a handout, I should be able to click it and click show players, and it should just show up on your guys' Roll20. But it did not.
Yeah.
Well, let me see here. Show to players. Let me try it that way. And then there's also Let me edit something. I'm going to try one other thing just to do it. Here we go. If I do this, maybe that will. So Lorenzo, Monty, Pietro. Let's see if I'm missing anybody. Sasha, Mocklin, Lorenzo. Okay, save changes. Show to players. See if that works.
Oh, there you go.
So I had to put it where it was in your guys's. Okay, I figured it out. Sorry about that. Anyway, little AI picture of a monkey with a knife, and it's on the table. It pulls its knife out and is opened a guava up and is gulping out the contents of guava as people are screaming. Well, a lady screams over next to it. Shh. Isabella says, "Are you sure it should be left alone?"
What's your monkey's name?
Marco.
Marco.
Yeah. I love it. So Marco's over there. I will say an interesting thing is happening. Who would notice this? On the
Marco.
dance floor,
Like.
I don't think you were watching at the time during the last dance, Lorenzo, but I do know that Pietro. So where are you right now, Pietro?
So Pietro has been circulating and just generally chatting with people. He's dropping hints. He's basically saying how marvelous it is that this medal is being struck, and
very good.
while sort of carefully implying that the reason that the officer candidates have to be thanked, of course, is that Salmare completely dropped the ball
Very
and
good.
failed to do anything about it. So, they're obviously, in polite, courtly fashion, he's basically implying that they're just trying to distract from the fact that they're completely incompetent.
Very good. You see that Moon de Lavelle, who you've sort of had your eye on for a bit,
Yeah.
has a Bravo with her, and they're moving rapidly towards the table where the monkey is.
Okay, so I've presumably seen the monkey.
Yes. Oh, yes. It is starting to cause a bit of a stir.
So have I noticed that there are people after my monkey? Going towards
Maybe
my
not
monkey?
after. There are people moving towards. I mean, there's a numerous people that are starting to cluster around to see what the heck is going on with this monkey.
Can I intercede, Moon?
Pietro's going to move over to the table as well, and he'll also try and catch.
Okay.
catch
As you guys are moving towards the table, here is what's going to happen. There's a couple of different events, so I'll sort of dole them out generously. So, Lorenzo, Isabella puts her dainty hand onto your arm and whispers in your ear. She says, Lorenzo, it's all in your memory. And then she stands. And then at the same time, Pietro, you're moving towards. Sasha's on the dance floor. Monty, you're on the dance floor. You can see that there's something going on by the food table. Mocklin, you're trying to figure out what's going on as well. And now the man standing next to Moon de Lavelle screams loudly, "Ah! It's cut me!" And in a almost a poor theatric voice, Moon de Lavelle turns to the group and goes, "What insult is this? Whose creature is this? Is that poisoned?"
Okay. So is he gesturing to the monkey?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. The monkey has not taken any of its blades because.
Oh, it took a blade.
Okay. So now I'm going to be spending.
Mm-hmm.
I'm now going to be using a time jump. Yeah.
A time jump. Oh, you're going to use you're going to burn something for a. Yes. Now remember, these can't change what have happened. These can simply give you things that you have already planned.
Yeah. Basically, I don't have to burn anything. Yep.
Okay.
So I can use Party Crasher, yeah?
Oh, Party Crasher. What is that skill?
There's once per errand, any flashbacks where you have arranged a distraction or employed mayhem cost no stress.
Wonderful. So you're going to cause a distraction or create mayhem. Interesting.
When drawing attention to yourself, take +1 effect.
Wow. Okay, so it would go from a standard effect to a great effect. Yeah. What are you trying to do?
I'm taking the heat off the monkey.
Okay, so you're trying to draw attention to yourself so eyes are turning away.
So eyes are turning away. At the same time, I'm making a couple of whistles.
Okay.
For the monkey to go into the hat. Yep. And I'm throwing the hat to the side of the room.
Ah. Okay.
In a big gesture.
Very good.
Yep.
Very good.
So basically, I'm doing a bit of a street performance.
Okay.
Okay. The hat will go to the side of the room. It will expose the rest of my head, which has been kind of fairly covered.
Yes.
I haven't explained this earlier, but I'm completely I'm painted up like a skeleton. Yeah, I've got body paint on like a skeleton.
On your head?
All over, and with the suit on top. A bit like that James Bond film, Doctor No.
Oh, what? And then a mask, like a mask over the top.
Yeah, well, not necessarily a mask, but I'm painted up like a skeleton.
Very interesting.
With a top hat and everything.
It doesn't fit amazingly in with the rest of the costumes here in this Renaissance ball. However, it does stand out.
Yeah, I'm a performer. I'm not here as a guest. I'm kind of almost here as a performer.
Ah.
Although I am a guest, but I'm just performing.
Yes, yes, fine. So you throw the hat.
Yeah. So basically,
whistle for the monkey.
Whistle for the monkey. Yeah.
Okay.
And I've used a what do you call it again? Flashback.
Okay. 2.
Yeah. Sorry.
And the flashback was for.
The flashback was basically that there was a day beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had snuck in some alcohol. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a tray of alcohol being carried around by someone, but it's extremely flammable.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've got some white phosphorus in my hands.
As you do.
Yep. And so I start rubbing my fingers together, and the white phosphorus starts turning into like a fake smoke.
Okay.
Coming out of my hands, yeah. I'm going to start doing some mumbo jumbo shit.
Oh, that's wonderful. Actually,
Yeah,
people start turning your direction and away from the big event that was going on the opposite side. So there's almost an equal number of people on each side, some watching the outraged person who has been cut by this monkey and are hearing the outraged voicings from Moon de Lavelle. The monkey is sprinting through the crowd. Everybody's yelling at that. And then all of a sudden, you're making some smoke on the other side. The music stops.
So Pietro, by this time, hopefully has reached the table.
Very good.
He puts his arm round the back of this this Bravo.
Oh.
And says, "Oh my good man, that's terrible. We really must get that seen to," and sort of hurries him off.
Oh, wow.
No doubt over his protests.
Yes.
Really, no, we shouldn't alarm the good ladies of the court. We really must cover that up. And he grabs a towel from the arm of a passing waiter. Very quickly wraps it round the arm of this Bravo and moves him quickly away from the room.
So the only thing impeding that is Moon de Lavelle saying, "Why are you trying to hide this thing? What are you trying to do? He was hurt."
Yes, I understand, and we will look into that. But
isn't your man the one with the monkey?
Why are you trying to disturb these fine folk and their revelries? Really, it's very gauche behaviour. We really should quieten down and let's deal with this quietly and let the entertainment continue.
This is very cool. So I would like an action roll from you.
Do a sway roll.
I think you're doing something to put her off, that whatever she's doing next is she's more gauche than getting what she wants done, and that may be the sway that we're looking for here. I like it, and it's risky because it could escalate. Go ahead, Marklin.
Can I take a couple of stress to chip in?
How are you helping?
Well, she's my ex,
Oh, yes, she is.
and she's my down arrow,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just going to kind of slide on the dance floor up, and I'm going to go. Now, Mooney. You know full well there's only one gauche person allowed on this dance floor, and I hold the title for that, my dear.
Do you want to ask her to dance?
Yeah,
You
why
get that.
not?
You get the die. I'm not gonna charge you the stress for that, Malcolm. That was phenomenal. Okay, Pietro, if you
So
roll correctly, she'll use the excuse that Malcolm has given her to move away.
So I have a special permission here, a believable excuse.
Ooh.
As you are a master at crafting plausible stories. As per errand, when you make an excuse, the receiver will be inclined to believe you.
Very good. I'm on it. So we'll make that instead of like giving you more dice, what we'll do is this great effect. Does that work?
Oh, yes.
I'll check that off. And yeah, so I'm going to use. Well, yeah. So is sway acceptable?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So that will be a position is.
The position is risky. It could escalate if things went really bad. She could, start screaming that he's been poisoned with this knife cut.
Yeah, but great effect.
Great effect. She's going to just absolutely move away and be embarrassed, and very possibly it will completely diffuse what was going to be a plot.
Come on, Pietro.
And
We've got faith in you.
I want to get an extra dice from Lachlan.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
So here we go. I might take some stresses. I'm going to take some stress as well.
Very good.
Woohoo!
You may do so. And so for those that can't see the dice, I'll call out what they actually roll if they don't roll across exactly where you can see them. And he got a 6. He rolled a 5, 2, 1, 6, and 2. So he has great effect. Yeah. So this is exactly what they're hoping for, in that she backs down, her lips pressed together. There's a scowl, and she scowls up at you, Mocklin, and says, and does a polite, graceful curtsy. I would be most honored, Prince. And the way she says Prince cuts, but that's how but you're used to that. And then she moves onto the dance floor with her fingernails digging roughly into the flesh of the back of your arm.
Oh, my darling, I've forgotten how rough you can be. Those talons, they're still as sharp as ever. Let's dance and maybe have a kiss after.
Oh, she's rigid in your arms, but she still moves gracefully, and she whispers back, I will get your group yet.
I'm sure you will, my darling. Just not tonight.
And you just dance away across the monkey's in the hat.
This Bravo I've escorted to the door.
Yes.
And made sure that the servants are going to take him away and tend to his wounds. Probably best if he doesn't come back. Maybe he has a lie down.
With that 6, I'm perfectly happy with that. He leaves confused. He was there, obviously, at direction, and when the direction left, he doesn't know really what to do. He is cut. And so whether or not the monkey did it, you doubt, because the cut is a little bit larger than you would expect from that little razor that you see the monkey carry. But whatever the case, the plot was there. And you can all guess that the plot was to implicate Lorenzo, because someone has figured out that he's got a monkey that he's training. And that might be another thing to try and figure out. Who blabbed, and how did they know to try and make this a means to try and embarrass, force a
monkey haters.
And I don't know if any of you, there was a Bravo in your group still, they might know this guy and know that it was very likely designed to draw out one of you to be killed in a duel.
Mm.
And that may still come out as a request for a duel. We'll see. I would almost expect that. Okay, so that has happened, and let us move to another thing that's going on now. I would say that one of the things you have noticed, Pietro, is that aside from your group, and you've got an eye for this type of thing, there's not a Barbolini dress to be seen, except for one. Tita Corvetto is wearing a Barbolini. She, unlike her coming out party at the last dance, she seems to be standing a little taller, shoulders back, and it is a rose-colored dress that you recognize some of the designs as you were in Barbolini's. She is made up more like a woman. And honestly, her frame has changed over the last couple of months, probably some growth. She's still not a incredibly handsome young lady. However, she has probably come into her own a little bit, a little more confident. And she has a number of ladies in waiting around her, and she also has numerous courtiers there to provide compliments. You can see old man Corvetto in the corner watching all carefully. And she sees you across the dance floor and gives you a little wave towards her.
Okay. Well, Pietro will nod and cross over to her, a glass in hand.
Very good. There are around her probably 15 to 20 sycophant courtiers. She goes, "Ah, my good man, you who gave me the most memorable dance from my coming out party." And there's a titter. There's a titter of soft laughter among the young ladies.
Give a courtly bow. My lady, you give me too much honor.
Too much honor. Ah, you so admired my last dress. What do you think of this one?
What can I say? My lady has fine taste. All I can do is copy your fine example by visiting such a noble um, uh, establishment as Barbolini's.
Yes, Barbolini's. Wasn't there some silly scandal with that? I choose not to remember that, she says. And the tittering stops. She says, I like Barbolini's. I wish all hatchets buried. May we dance? And she walks out and takes your arm.
Of course.
And you guys are out onto the dance floor. So now on the dance floor, we have Monty, who is dancing with Andrea to another set of dances. You almost, Monty, don't want to let her back out of your dance card just because
Yeah.
you get a bad feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also have Sasha, who has had another round of dances with Jorah because there seems to be something not quite right with what's going on with Alaric. and this whole metal thing, you can sense a problem. Mocklin is dancing as well. Mocklin is dancing with his ex, Moon de Lavelle. And it is strangely enough one of the most graceful dances that are going on the floor. Yet both of them have these fixed, rigid smiles and you can see their lips move as they trade courtly barbs as they move around the floor. Did you hear that,
In the
Mocklin?
old days, we used to call that foreplay.
Very cool. Actually,
Pietro
Mocklin, go ahead, Pietro.
No, I was going to say, Pietro compliments Tita del Corvetto. Says, my lady's wisdom grows along with her beauty.
She just does a little half nod of her head as she travels. She says, "It is not right for houses to argue over such petty things." I was shocked, she says, looking up at you. Actually, this sounds more like the young girl you danced with several months ago. I was shocked.
All I can say is that it really disturbed me that the houses would play with the lives of simple people in such a way.
Mm.
They do not see the impact that they have on their lives.
She nods. Ah, and more wisdom. Mocklin.
Don't look at me for wisdom.
No, but
I got none.
something is happening, Mocklin.
Okay.
And you probably would not have noticed it except for the fact that you have started playing around with the light dark scene of magic.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Something's going on.
Okay.
You can sense it.
I twirl Moon outwards, and then I yawn, and I bow, and I say, "Thank you very much, my dear. That was ever so nice. I must stop because I'm gauche, and I'm the gauchest one in the party."
She
And then
gives
I
you
strut like a chicken.
She actually gives you a little half smile, Mocklin, that you remember actually with a little bit of fondness. She says, "Yes, you are. You've always been a gauche one." She shakes her head and walks away.
Okay. I need to whilst I'm walking away, because that actually no. I just stand there.
Sadly, with her,
And then I'm like, then I like shake my head as if to rattle my brains back into position, because
yeah,
that's just knocked me for six. I was not expecting that. And then I want to basically just I'm just gonna do it. Out in the middle of the dance floor, I'm just gonna go, "Granddad."
yes,
Oh,
you know I don't like these things.
yeah, I know, but where I go, you go. So tough. Some weird shit's going on.
Like what?
I don't know. I can feel it.
Someone is using a seam that they think that no knack truly understands to do something. You're aware of that.
Right. I'm wearing my eye patch, yeah?
Are you?
Yeah, because that's why I went to Gilbert and Sullivan's to get it made for the thing.
So I would say that
Okay, so what I'm
The
going to do is
moon-
I'm going to slip it on. I'm going to slip it on now.
Yeah, let's
So,
do that.
On it goes. Tightens up. It looks absolutely fantastic, exactly as I described it.
Of course it is.
I start getting a little giggly as I'm walking off the dance floor. And I put it on, and I'm still chuckling to myself. That is what happened. And then yeah. I'm already in my knack robes.
Yep.
So, so I don't need to do anything like that. And then I'm going to try and sense. Can I sense? That would be part of. I'm going to try and see if I can sense where the seams are being manipulated.
Very good.
Because if I can do something simple as that, then I might be able to trace the line from the collar
Very good.
back through, etc. So I'm going to try this as a little experiment.
This is an experiment, and it is something new. So we're going to make that a little harder. But you tell me what you want to do.
So I've got a feeling it's a seam between the light and dark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the assumption that they've drawn from the dark and then the light over the top, so that maybe they're then invisible or something is obscured. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and manipulate the other way round to see if I can see through it.
Yes.
So I'm going to take some of the light and basically ball it somehow.
Is that visible?
What fruit is on the table? You said
there's
pineapple.
guava, there's tangerines, there's nectarines, there's grapefruits. They've got, you name it, anything they pretty much have on a spread of fruit on this table.
All right, so I'm just wondering if I could incorporate a fruit. No, because it might actually explode, like the crab. So let's not do that. Right, okay. So, no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of light. So I'm going to move over towards where the curtains are. So I can see the darkness within the folds. I'm going to take a little bit of light, a little bit of darkness, merge the two, a little bit of light, a little bit of darkness, a little bit of light, and I'm going to slowly ramp it on up to see if, and then I'm going to, if I can get it into like a haze, I'm going to
look
basically
through that,
bring it up to, and look through that to see if I can manipulate something. If it doesn't work,
let's do it. Let's do it.
We'll do it the other way. We'll
Give
go
me a
dark
roll.
on light.
Give me a roll.
Right, so
failure of this would simply mean that you reveal yourself in the party as doing something crazy and magical. So it's we'll call this, whatever it is that you choose to do is risky that way in a social way and has a standard effect. You may well pull. Actually, I said I would make it hard for you. So what we'll do is we'll make this desperate. And in that means that what we're going to do is, if you fail whatever roll this is, since you haven't used light and dark magic together before, there may be an effect you weren't expecting that will be up to me to mess with. Fair enough? Call it a desperate roll with standard effect.
I'm happy with a desperate roll because I get a +1 to my character XP, which takes me to full.
Ooh.
So I'm absolutely fine with that.
Fair enough.
And that's whether or not it works, isn't it? It's a desperate roll.
No. You still get the experience point. Let's see what the roll is.
Yeah. Right, so I'm going to take 2 stress.
Okay.
Because I want an extra die.
Very good.
So it's desperate.
Yes.
Standard.
Yes.
1 bonus die.
Keep track of that stress. Go ahead.
Nope.
Oh boy. Not so good. So here's what happens in this desperate
I'm now
position.
full and I'm back 20. So,
Just one question: Does I don't know if my one of my abilities would work in this situation.
Okay. I'm always willing to listen.
It's resist a complication related to detection of security against you or your coterie when you are present. So would this resist the detection of something?
So this is usually to security. So we'll say if
Yeah.
you choose to do that, let's first determine what the problem that comes out of this is.
Yeah.
If it looks like it's going to involve guards and things coming, keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
So let's think about this. So what happens is as you pull this darkness and light out of this fold in the thick tapestried curtains by the window, where you can just see that wonderful seam between the sunlight and the deep shadow of the fold, as you're eking that out and forming it in almost to a lens. And you get to the point, you look out across the crowd to try and see where this line of magic. You can see a line of magic. You can see that the arrow of this magic is pointing towards Pietro, where he's dancing with Tita. But then it explodes with a loud snapping sound, like almost if you take a belt and pull it apart in the middle and you just pull it tight where it slaps together, makes this loud crack. There's that sound and it's gone. And you fall onto the floor and you take a light damage of, what shall I call this? We'll do it this way. It flashed light and you take a light damage of burned retina. Now, the neat thing about that is
I'll do it the one under the eye patch.
that's the neat thing is you can rotate that old eye patch and possibly see better, because right now seeing out of the eye that was uncovered by the patch is not so good.
Yeah, no, I do exactly that. I switch it on over, and so it was just an arrow there pointing at Pietro.
It was.
Or is there a person attached to it?
There was a stream, and the only thing you saw before the flash was that the stream was running towards the dancing couple. This is a longer dance. You figure you got another minute or so that they are dancing together. All of you are dancing. Monty, you pass by Pietro and Tita, and you notice that her dress, the arm where it's attached to the rest of the dress, it's gapping. It's like the seams are being unthreaded or had fallen apart. To you, you would say, "Oh gosh, the seams are coming loose." If Mocklin saw that, he might wonder if someone was doing that on purpose, but Mocklin didn't see that. And as you whirl away, you notice that almost all the seams are starting to gap.
Ooh.
Pietro surely would have seen this.
Pietro, you are very much staring her in the face as you're talking quietly and dancing. I will give you a luck roll based on one of your skills. Tell me which one. One of your attributes to have glanced that there's something wrong. Mind? Body?
Yeah.
Mind? Okay.
Go with mind.
Okay, so give me a luck roll, and I will say that if you get a 6 upon it, you will have noticed out of the corner of your eye that there's something wrong with the sleeve. Not so much. Very good. So you are continue to dance. And Monty, you have moved out of range, but you're like, this, in your mind, that is something that would be exactly the type of thing that your enemies would try and do.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try and.
You see Mocklin over at the edge of the floor going, he's moving his patch over and everything else. Lorenzo, you've got your monkey. Isabella Labella, you can't seem to find.
She's annoying me anyway because she doesn't explain what she's going on about. And
It
she's
is annoying. It is.
She's talking to me in riddles.
Yes.
I'm checking my own psyche. Have I forgotten something?
That is very interesting. And tell you what, I'd like you to make a luck roll on mind. Well, this game you're not supposed to say the players what they're, but it would likely be mind. And if you get a 5 or a 6, I'll give you a hint.
Okay, so mind, I just choose my highest score in mind.
No, so across the front of mind, how many pips do you have?
When you say the front.
Okay, so on your character sheet,
behind the white line, behind the line.
Yeah, and yep.
Behind the line, I've got 2.
Okay, there you go. So you get 2 die.
I'm going to push my
5 or 6. It's luck. It's just luck. You can't
luck.
do that. No stress, no nothing. Luck has a place.
Dice?
I'm sorry?
How many D6s?
2. Oh, I didn't see. What did we get?
Perfect score.
You got
5 and 6.
5 and a 6.
That's what you asked for, wasn't it?
Yes, it is. Something swims to the back of your mind. If you look at your character sheet, who is your down arrow?
Honor.
Yeah.
An orphanage headmistress. Was my new glass.
Do you remember back when you were an orphan in the house that she ran? Do you remember the horrors down there in the twist? Do you remember the little girl who was your only friend? Do you remember Isabella?
I do now. Yeah.
Okay.
If you're asking.
So you just remember her little face and the eyes. That just swims out of nowhere.
But what am I fixing?
You're not. That thought just comes to your mind as, what am I? There's something, and you've always in the back of your mind thought, someday I'm going to fix that place, that situation, the horror that those poor orphans are going through, but you just never have managed to get back there. If you had happened to have been there when our friends were blowing up the Lobster Man, as they call it, the orphanage is not far from there. In fact, right down the street. But sadly, you weren't, and that might have brought some other things to the fore. But that comes to your mind. Okay. Let's move on from there. So right now, that comes to your head in that whole thing. Monty, you've seen what you've seen. Sasha, I think you are starting to swirl towards Pietro and Tita. However, it's a little bit harder in this dance because Alaric got more alcohol down him than you wanted.
Sorry, Alaric got more alcohol down him.
Yeah, down Jorah. And he's doing well, and he's such a sweet. He is absolutely happy to be with you and with no one else. And you are moving across the floor, and you are moving towards where Pietro is dancing with Tita. The back of her dress, like if there were ties like at the back of her neck or something that were like holding it together, it's almost like those ties are gone, and they're like the seam across her back is open, and you can see a shift underneath. It's embarrassing.
Right, I'm going to direct us over to that point, over towards Pietro.
Very good.
And I'm going to say to Jorah, we need to get Pietro and Tito off the dance floor now. Quietly,
he looks at you a little fuzzily. What? But he's learned to follow when you decide to lead.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to basically make a move over towards them and put my arms around Tito a little bit and say to Pietro, we need, please, my dears, I need to have a catch up with you.
She looks surprised. Pietro, this is a little surprising, but you know to follow her lead.
I'm covering. I'm basically using my body to
very good.
Certainly cover the back of her.
One of her sleeves falls free.
I think we have a little wardrobe malfunction.
Okay, so like Pietro immediately sees this and he's shocked, obviously.
Oh yes.
But he very quickly looks over at Lorenzo.
Lorenzo, okay, you see him?
And he makes a sign to Lorenzo that they'd agreed beforehand.
Very good.
That we need a big distraction.
And I haven't finished my distraction in the first place. All I've
nope.
done is
feel free.
Yeah.
Well, take it up a notch.
Yeah. So I'm ready
we need
now.
Every eye on you.
I was distracted through during my distraction. But,
very good.
So I'm going to raise my hands again.
Okay.
The phosphorus is going to is going to cause smoke again.
Wonderful.
I'll draw attention. But what I've done now is there are drinks that are spotted around the room that will react to this phosphorus.
Well done.
And I'm going to start throwing the smoke into the drinks, which are then going to set themselves on fire, just randomly.
Wow.
Pass around the dance floor, just setting drinks on fire randomly.
Well done. I love it. So there is a bit of pandemonium. I mean, it turns that there's some clapping because it seems to be a performance. There's a little bit of fear as like some people's drinks burst of fire in their hands, but at the same time, no one seems to be getting hurt. A lot of smoke, a lot of fire, and you know these are to be expected. These crazy balls that are put on by the Esaltari. There's knacks, there's neat things going on, and there's a polite clap as one of them goes off with a particular poof that makes a little small mushroom cloud over the glass, and then it starts to die away. What have you guys done with Tita during the complete? Actually, Lorenzo, I want to roll for how well this distraction works.
Okay, so this is going to be I'm going to use my consort.
Consort.
Yeah, because at the moment this is just socializing among friends.
Okay. As opposed to okay. I mean, I see that.
Yeah, I'm not wrecking anything at the moment. I'm
not wrecking. It's not from your tinkering to make the stuff. It's not. Okay, very good.
I'm also going to push myself and take two more stress.
Okay.
Yeah. So, consorts. Is this risky or?
It's risky, and it'll be a limited effect.
Limited effect.
Yep. You can use your stress to change that to standard.
Okay. Yeah, I'll use it as. Yeah, I'll choose it. I'll choose that to change it to standard then.
Gotcha. Because I thought that consort was a little bit weird, so I made it limited, and you fixed it by adding some stress. Ooh, Monty had an idea. Sorry, Monty, I'm too slow.
That's all right.
Look at this.
Moved on.
Look at this. So for those watching, he rolled a 6 and a 6, which is a critical success.
So basically, do I get a choice in what happens here or not?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So basically,
as long as when you stand up, you get flames coming out your butt.
No.
Um,
Don't humiliate your house. Go ahead.
I'm going to be moving around the dance floor. Yeah,
Okay.
pretty
Sort of
much doing almost break dancing,
Oh, I love it.
body popping. Yeah, pongoing up into the air. Yeah,
Oh,
doing
wow.
doing the robot all to the music, perfect timing. Yeah,
Wonderful.
as I set drinks on fire
Poof,
at the same
poof,
time.
poof.
Yeah.
Oh,
So this
yeah.
is completely distracting. So if anyone was watching, like the clothes, even the clothes drop off a woman, they would
Yeah.
be distracted enough to kind of just be
No,
mesmerized by this amazing performance.
this role has given every eye moves across Lorenzo as he dances uniquely across the dance floor. And to in time, not only is he setting off things near him, he's setting it off in time with the music.
Yeah. And then just as the music comes to a halt, yeah, I'm going to lean down, yeah, and put my head between my legs, yeah, and then I'm going to cause more white phosphorus to make a big pair of wings that come out of my arse.
You know, you roll the double six. It's phenomenal. People are confused of whether or not you meant it to be your back, but it looks like your butt. There's some tittering of laughter, but we all know that you meant it. And the monkey then opens the door and does a little bow itself.
Yeah. Yeah. And people are impressed at this stage.
Oh, yes, they're very impressed.
And now they're on the side of the monkey. Little do they know is how dangerous it is.
Yeah. So, how did you guys deal with the Tita problem? Where'd you go? What'd you do during this?
Pietro, obviously, along with Sasha, Jura, standing around
Yes.
Tita, he whispers to her, "I believe you have been victim of a plot. Just leave quickly." And
what do you mean?
Ushers her to. He nods towards the obviously the sleeve has come off of her dress.
Oh. You guys can see across the room that the Corvetto is standing up from his seat to try and see where his granddaughter is. He can't find her in the crowd. Is a little bit concerned. Okay.
With all the smoke and distraction, I should hope he can.
Yeah. No, yeah, absolutely.
So in this room,
he's lost track of
her. Can we get her into a covered position? I mean, are there any screens?
Yeah, there are. There's some screens.
There's got to be restrooms that you can retreat to where you
can. There are. There are guardrail type things.
Do up your makeup. Where you can
would Sasha? Would you like to maybe take her to one of those?
Definitely, that is where Sasha is. Yep.
Very good.
It's time for a little trip to the powder room.
And I will grab Jura and make sure that we kind of screen her so that people can't see what's going on.
In the powder room, her dress has no threads left that would have been those that hold the different pieces together. And it starts to just fall off of her body. And she is shocked and dismayed, humiliated, worried. What do I do? She has no dress.
So,
well, we're standing outside. Jura and I are standing outside.
Absolutely. There are some stalls and things like that where you can give her some cover. You know, the different ladies coming in and out are not going to see her. Yeah, the two of you are together dealing with the problem, Sasha.
Okay. So I'm going to say do not panic. This is not right. This is.
What's happened?
If I had any knowledge of it, I would say this is some magical attack.
Is the Barbellinis mad at me because of the whole thing?
They would not want this. This is their reputation. This will hurt them as much as it hurts you, my dear. They would not do this to you. This is somebody else attempting to embarrass you and them.
This is twice that I've danced with that Pietro fellow and something's gone wrong. Is it me or is it Pietro? Are they after him?
I think they would like to take your family down a peg or two, as well as damaging Pietro. So I think they are just using the two of you to great effect at the moment, my dear. That is all.
So
But first, we need to get you something, some kind of cover. So I'm basically, if you can just wait here, my dear, I shall be back in just a moment. I'm going to pop outside to speak to Pietro and Jura.
Very good.
Okay.
Mm.
What I want is if you can get a cloak or something like that for me, and maybe if there is a man's shirt or something around, because I've got trousers on under this skirt. So basically, I can. Our measurements are reasonably similar, so I can slip out of this dress and
Fair
give
enough.
it to Tito, and basically with a cloak and if I can get it a shirt,
So
then I can basically have on.
Yep.
Very cool. Very cool.
I'm just thinking, and I'm not trying to influence you anyway. But the fashions of this sort of time, where the ladies, in order to make sure nothing got onto their dresses, and also to have a big reveal, would have cloaks that basically covered their hair or plated ground.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very good. Fair enough.
So Pietro is going to head to the cloakroom.
Very good.
And as I say that Lady Tita feels that she needs to leave early. Could I have her cloak, please?
Ah, yes, sir. And the servant moves to the back, comes out with a very ornate cloak, and it's the Barbolini.
Mm-hmm.
It's not falling apart.
Yeah. Excellent. So
and it matches her dress.
Yeah. So I will I'll take that through. I'll work my way around the edge of the crowd so that
Very good.
Give
me a luck roll, and you can make it whichever one of your skill. And this is if the Corvetto himself notices you with that, unless you want to make a skill roll to avoid him seeing you moving across with that. You got to move all the way across the dance floor, across the room, not necessarily the dance floor. You can go around the edges to get to the far end where the guard robes are.
Okay, I'm going to use skeleton key
ability. And that is?
Push yourself and roll your best action rating while performing a different action.
Very good.
So I'm going to say it's a sway action.
That's fine.
And making use of my knowledge of crowds and how they work.
Okay.
Basically keep people between me and him.
Very well. Very well done.
So I've taken some stress.
It's risky in that if you fail, he's going to see it and maybe call out and go, "What the heck?"
Yeah.
But it'll be standard.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm taking a bonus dice because I've had to use push myself for it. Oh, hang on, it's a sway. Risky, standard, one bonus dice, and what did I get?
There's that 6.
Excellent.
Off you go across. You're not noticed by the Corvetto, as he is now getting concerned enough that he doesn't know where his granddaughter is, that he is whispering to some man who's standing next to him. And you can guess that that's probably going to mean next there's going to be somebody trying to figure out where she's at. Okay, you're across the room.
Sorry,
she's coming back on.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realise you wanted to. Okay, I picked up her cloak as well.
Yes, okay. Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to hand it through the door. I'll say, no problem with this Barbolini tailoring.
Very good.
It's through. So we'll hand them both through.
Well played.
Yeah.
Okay.
So back in the powder room, I'm going to quickly take my dress off and get Tita into
Yes.
into that dress. We are going to have the big reveal for you, my dear, of how you have basically gone to the expense of having two beautiful dresses for this event. So we are going to have we're going to have you wow and amaze the people back on the dance floor with your change of outfit to this new and beautiful Barbolini dress.
Very
for
good.
for a fresh trip out, basically.
I want a role from you
Yep.
that makes her understand that you are doing this out of the goodness of your heart, and you're not part of some plot, and that she should be trusting. And that's what I'm looking for out of this, because this whole conversation, she's starting to get worried and what's happening. I don't know any of these people. I'm half naked. They're trying to dress me. What is going on? And her mind is playing back to the horror of the people talking about that piglet dressed in that yellow dress.
Okay. So I'm going to use command.
Ooh, very good.
Is that okay?
Absolutely. You're
That-
telling her. Okay.
I'm going to also use a little bit of stress. That doesn't normally work well for me, but never mind. I'm going to use a little bit of stress.
Do it.
Yeah. To try and let me too stress to push this. And I'm also going to use my lucky charm.
Oh,
that I
good.
have with-
Very good.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
To
Let's
try and
do
get
it.
the best result.
Okay. Let's see it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So this will be risky, just in that if you fail, she will be distrusting of you and your group as possibly being party to some problem that
Yep.
she's having.
Yeah.
And it'll be at least standard effect.
Standard effect. Okay. Yeah. So I've got a bonus dice from pushing
Yes.
and a bonus dice from my lucky charm. Yes.
Very good. I'll give it.
Yeah.
Lots of dice rolling out here. Let's see that 6.
Oh, critical success.
Wow.
Don't forget, after you've dressed her up, you need to get some form of wings or flames coming out your butt.
Yeah.
Ah. So, what I'll tell you off the double 6, number 1, your dress fits dramatically well. You almost think, oh my word, it almost fits better on her. It is perfect. She spins around in front of the mirror and goes, oh my, is this another Barbolini?
Oh, it is, my dear, and you look beautiful in it.
Wow. She thanks you profusely for helping, and she turns to you and says, "This is twice now that you and your house have been singled out to embarrass the Corvetto through me.
Indeed, it is not.
And this, I will say, is twice that you have rescued it. I will tell my grandfather that you have done this. Thank you."
And thank you, my dear, for believing in us and trusting us. We would never see harm come to you. Never. Not at our hand.
In a very interesting display, she gives you a slight bow, and then she turns in a flourish and leaves.
Excellent. Okay. I'm going to put my cloak on.
Sorry, I
You
misunderstood.
didn't do the flaming out your ass.
You don't have, every time someone rolls a double 6, you don't necessarily have to have something flaming coming out of your ass, But yes, I understand.
I think we should. I
I
think we should.
understand
I
that's a
think it should be
tradition. That's
thing.
a tradition
Well-
in your group.
But, well, for Mocklin,
Well, yeah.
let's just say it's a Mocklin thing.
And Lorenzo did it
And
too.
Lorenzo.
And
And
Lorenzo.
Lorenzo. He's in the club now.
We'll see what
I
happens
think
with. We'll see
really
what
it
happens
should-
with Martin,
It's compulsory, really.
with Monty here shortly.
Your dance partner should be coming out of the powder room for you now.
That's true. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So I shall. As she comes out.
What color is your dress, Sasha, that she's wearing?
Well, I think it would have been something to complement my eyes, my blue eyes. So
Okay.
I would have said maybe something either a silver or a blue or.
Okay. You tell me.
Ooh, a silvery blue.
I'm going to go with a blue with sort of silver threads
Very nice.
winding through it that catch the light and just
Ooh,
dance and sing. In the
very nice. So when she comes back out,
Oh,
it is there, and she, I see your brain going, Mocklin.
yeah.
so she
I
cruised.
Is it blue
I
or
was
gold?
just gonna say, I'm gonna wait for when she comes back in.
Yes.
Okay. And I see that she's in. She's had a dress change. I'm not really interested in what. I'm
You-
gonna
you
think.
know that
I'm
it's-
thinking straight away that this is. Oh wow. And I manipulate a thread of light to basically shine down off of the silver threads, so it looks like that dress is just glittering all the way as she's walking. Because I think that looks absolutely stunning.
You know what? I like that so much that I'm not going to charge you or make you roll. As she comes back to the dance floor, it is with a glittery glow that draws eyes, and you can see the Corvetto at the far side of the room settle down his men who are getting to go out, and he smiles beatifically at her and just is so pleased that she is having the time of her life. Very good. Okay, what are we doing with Sasha, who is now in trousers and whatever
a cloak.
cloak?
Do I see Sasha in trousers and cloak?
No, you do not. She is in the powder room about to make her exit.
Might gather up the bits of the other dress as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Very
because
good.
I'm wearing a robe.
Yes, you are.
Are we keeping the
Okay, sorry, Lorenzo. So I know that dress belongs to Sasha because I saw her wearing it.
Yes.
So I'm going to, with my eye patch on, I'm going to walk over to and I'm going to ask where Sasha is to Pietro, and I get the answer.
Well, Pietro's currently dancing with Tita.
Ah, yes, you've moved back to the floor to dance with her. Very well done.
In that case, I'll kind of make some form of hand signals or something to point at the dress, Sasha. Question mark.
Pietro nods towards the ladies' powder room.
Very good.
Okay, I head over in that direction, and basically what I'm going to do is because it's all magic manipulation for my changing from robes to thingy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to I see that the captain's there. Sasha in there? Is
Sorry?
Sasha in there? Hello?
Oh,
Hello?
he's saying-
Hello?
oh,
I
saying-
knock on his forehead, you know, the captain's forehead.
Hey.
Is Sasha in there?
Yes.
Excellent. Right. So now I knock on the door. Sasha?
I'll stick my head out.
Okay. And just in the corridor, off comes the robes, proper. There you go, because we're roughly around about the same height.
Okay.
And then what I'm going to do is with my undergarments, I'm going to manipulate a little bit of magic to basically give me a black silk shirt and leather breeches.
The
and
basics.
the basics that I go out on and fight crab
So,
monsters with.
Give me a stress, and you can have an outfit.
Yeah, not a problem at all. I'll take the
Give
stress.
me a stress, and you can make an outfit for her out of magic.
So if I give you a stress, I
Yeah.
can keep the robes, but I can actually make an outfit out of magic for Sasha.
I want 2 stress then. I'm trying to eat 2 stress out of you for this.
I'll take it. Okay. Guard the door. Knock, knock. Mr. Captain Do. Guard the door. Sasha, I'm coming in. Right. Okay. Let's get you dressed up. What would you like? And when Sasha explains what type of dress she wants,
This is
how
like
many,
the
how
Disney
many
movie.
flames she wants to come out of her. Yeah.
Bippity
And I
boppity
basically
boo.
the boo.
Yeah,
and then the sprinkles come down over her cascade, and then
You have to refer to Mocklin as her fairy godmother.
Yeah, exactly. And you
Father,
must be
thank you.
back to the apartment by midnight.
Yes. And it also adjusts the makeup to suit the dress as well.
Very good.
So, but the design and everything is all on Sasha.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll take the 2 stress for doing that because
Fair enough.
she's helped the house.
Very good. Okay, so you've done that. Sasha, you guys can move back out. Everyone's back out at the dance floor. We have avoided another crisis that could have been much worse than it was. It's fine. Yes, it is. Yeah. And as you get to the dance floor, Monty, you see Alric has he has reacquired Cadet Jorah during this period. Jorah moved over. He did what he did. There's waiting around, but Alric grabbed him by the elbow as he's done, and they're at the bar again, and there's more drinks being plied down young Jorah
Now,
in celebration of the medal.
I'm going to do a flashback now.
Oh, I want to hear this.
Okay. To when I was on the dance floor with Jura.
Yes.
And the fact that I had a conversation with him to say that he needs to be extremely careful. Is not out to do him any favors, and he needs to be wary.
Give me a stress, and I'll say you got that done.
I'm very happy to give you a stress.
Very good. So he is lipping his drink and nodding. As you guys all get out to the dance floor, I am cognizant of our time here at the end of this game, but Bernardo Almari once again, clap clap, steps out to the middle of the dance floor and hails the Almari. Hails the Esultari who are there. He says, "I have another brief announcement for my family." The music stops and everyone sort of forms. He says, "Due to the great services to my house, the reason I have this fine man," he claps Alric on the shoulder, "with me tonight is this man, Alric. We declare Almare. He is a member of our family. And through him, this lovely lady, Andrea." So Andrea moves over to be called in as part of House Almare. She looks a little bit surprised, Monty. "And what could be more fitting," Bernardo says, "in such a wonderful celebration of love and life and this end of summer, that we, as House Almari, should suggest a pairing of this lovely lady with a great hero of the realm, Cadet Jorah Coltwell.
Oh, I was coming.
Would that not be glorious?" And there's clapping around the room. Cadet Jorah's eyes almost bug out of his head. And he says loudly, "That won't happen." and he starts walking away. And that's where we'll leave it tonight. With all sorts of possible problems that will come from that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, how was the end of summer ball, guys? It was a fun little dance you guys went to.
Eventful.
And
I think the image we had around Monty there was pretty much how it felt.
I didn't really move. I just kind of stood in the middle of the floor with Andrea just going kind of dancing around me, and then everything happening in the back.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, Monty. Once again, you're like, okay, I got left out. I'm sorry.
I don't think he would. I don't think Monty really wanted to be there anyway.
Oh gosh, yeah.
He's not really a
I think
social
Monty
creature.
lucked in.
Yeah, everything happened about your stuff, your character, and your pieces, but not necessarily everything for you. Yeah, but
Well,
it's
it's no shellfish at least. This
oh
episode.
gosh, yeah, no shellfish. Very, very good. Well, wonderful. So, of this season, I'll ask you really quickly before we jump off stream. So we've got a couple of minutes. We'll cruise around. Lorenzo, what is the highlight of the summer social season that Lorenzo will remember and hold on to?
Probably gaining a new monkey.
Absolutely. Fair enough. Pietro, same question. You know it's all coming, guys, so start thinking.
Well, for him, obviously, the most memorable thing has got to be the duel.
Yep. Very, very good. And Christine, Sasha.
I think for her, probably the most memorable thing has got to be the pirate
Ooh, that was
battle.
quite an endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
That was absolutely. Monty.
Yeah, the pirate getting on the other boat and trying to talk the captain down, and I was hoping he was hoping that that some of them would make it, trying to be all the best. He was all the things trying to show all the qualities that he's proud of as a person.
Yeah. That was actually pretty fancy. The whole harpoon shot out of the cannon across. That was one of my memorable things too. Mocklin.
Honestly, there's too many. None of them actually include me. I love Pietro's duel. I think that's up there, as well as Monty's shipscapade. I'm sure there's a better way, an easier way of traversing from one ship to another, but that was a good highlight. Sasha's barrage from a rooftop at 50 paces away to distract the crabman. That was actually really good. Yeah, so far lots of really good things have happened. Personally, for Mocklin, I don't think anything actually stood out that he actually did. But by God, he's had fun. He's had fun making these guys look fantastic and trying to weave those threads and things like that. So
very good.
Because with the duel, I've still got to hand back that Almari fudged everything, and they've actually instigated the pig episode. So that's going back to, who did we have the duel with? It wasn't Corvetto, was it? Yeah, it was Corvetto. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's going to go back. That will then put pressure on too, which will hopefully alleviate Monty's current problem of his paramour being wed off to Sasha's paramour.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty certain that Pietro and myself can spin that in our and Corvetto's favour. Plus, it will also sort out one of our current missions to thwart Almari. Okay, because I'm pretty certain that is because that's who Moon is associated with, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, and Ulrich. So there's deeds in there. I do want to find out who's actually using the magic against Pietro and Tita.
That was the one thing we
because
didn't.
that's irritating.
Yeah, that's the one thing we didn't cover out of this entire party was there was a another person wearing a patch in the crowd, but none of us got to notice that one. So sadly, that didn't happen. So we'll work on that as we go on. The as we come into the next session, obviously there's going to be, because we're almost formulaic in our end of session, our different seasons. We have our different balls and we have our different things. We're probably moving towards another duel. And I would say that there will probably be a challenge delivered at the beginning of next session that will lead to a duel, and then we'll do our downtime from this particular adventure. And we'll see how that plays out next week. Thank you guys. I still cannot believe that we've played 2 different sessions that are balls, and they've been fun.
No, they've been better than balls,
Yeah.
mate. They're more interesting.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So very interesting. I mean, they're yes, a lot of crazy things have happened in them, but I think that to role play a Renaissance ball and actually have 3 hours of gameplay is sort of cool. It's like how does that happen? But yeah, lots of fun. Thank you guys so much, and I'm going to go ahead and at this point shut down our wonderful stream and say thank you to anyone that watched, and we will